it's exciting to be able to talk more about the spiritual properties of plants, because you and I talk about this all the time anyways.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just gonna record it so that hopefully you guys get some value out of this too. I think you're gonna like it. I mean, we like talking about it, so we just thought we'd include you and see how it goes. Okay, Shab, we have not talked about this already.
No.
You are gonna give me a plant that you
Okay.
want to know more about the spiritual properties of. I have my notes in case I need them. And I'll tell you what I know.
So Great Awakening is my favorite candle. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Amber is the first one that you have listed here, so why don't we start with amber?
That's a good one. Okay, so the thumbnail on amber, the spiritual properties of. Now, amber is a bit tricky. I think I have to define that. So people that are in the essential oil world or even in natural perfumery, they'll know that term amber gets used as sort of a catch-all for a lot of things. And sometimes it can even be somebody's sort of a recipe that they make with sort of standard perfuming notes that they call an amber. And so they're using the word amber to sort of represent anything that can be like a really resinous smell to it. And sometimes they combine different things to get to what they would call an amber.
So if you're wanting to buy amber individually for the spiritual properties that you're going to mention in a moment,
Yeah.
is it sort of like a buyer beware that you're not just getting like somebody's creation that they're calling amber?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yes.
Good to know.
So when we talk about the spiritual properties of the plants, for some of you, if you're wondering what that means, plants can work for us on 3 different levels, essentially. So think about it as like mind, body, and spirit. And then plants, Shelby knows this, but plants can work for us on those 3 levels. So they can really work on the physical level, body, they can work on the mental level, and then they can work on the what we call the emotional and the spiritual level. And how those plants are going to be able to interact with us on those different levels is really going to depend on like the portion, the preparation, and then the application. So that's always super, super important. So you can have the same plant, and depending on what portion you use of it, what preparation you're making of it, and how you apply it, is going to allow that plant to interact with you on those different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're asking about like, is there buyer beware on the amber? Yes, kind of, but it depends what you're looking for it to do. If you just want something that's going to really smell super beautiful in an incense, then buy what smells good for you. But if you want something that is going to be have a positive influence on the spiritual or emotional level, then yeah, you've got to be a little bit more discerning.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk about amber, and the amber that we use in the candle that you're talking about, the Great Awakening, is we use a fossilized resin. And typically that comes from a pine tree, sugar pine, there's a couple other pine trees. And it's the exact same stuff they make the jewelry out of, right? Where they have that beautiful amber jewelry and it comes in different colors. It's a fossilized resin. And so we're using an extract from that fossilized resin in the candle. And so on the spiritual level, what that can do is it puts you in coherence with the power of love. Which, that's a big statement, right?
That's a juicy statement.
But it's a juicy statement, and you're like, well, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Well, I think of it this way, and this is what I was taught, is that there are 4 pure streams of energy that exist within our consciousness. One is a pure stream of fear, not good. The other one is a pure stream of pain/addictions. This is another topic for another day, but those are the 2 sort of negative pure streams. And then there's a pure stream of joy and a pure stream of love. So depending on how you want to attune your consciousness, amber can be helpful for putting you back in coherence with that pure stream of love.
I love that.
And you don't need to know any of that. Like, some people might just interact with it and go, oh, I feel really good when I'm interacting with that plant. And great, good, leave it at that. I mean, the reason you feel good is because it's putting you back in the truth of creation, which is love. Now, I don't want to get too metaphysical into any of these things because it's not about belief systems. It's just about really on a more, if you want to think about it on a more scientific level, it's really about vibration, right? So love vibration is going to have a higher vibration than a fear or a pain vibration. And then the waveform that those move at are also important, but probably more information that we need to go into. So that's amber. It puts you into coherence with the power of love. Are we going to do another one?
I think we should.
Okay.